Welcome back. To talk about the Brockville Tourism, we have in the studio with us Thomas Harder. He's the executive director of the Aquatarium at the Tall Ships Landing. So let's delve right into it and find out as much as we can. Welcome to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey, it's our pleasure. So the last couple of years has really been challenging for all businesses, and we just want to know, tourism, were they closed for that period of time, or were they actually working on different projects?
The tourism office or tourism? Yeah. So the tourism office has been open and closed based on provincial restrictions, just like any other facility. The office is in and of itself where the visitor's office would come in to see.
Yes.
Is located at the front desk of the Aquatarium. So if the Aquatarium was able to open as a retail space, we provided visitor services for the city.
Tourism.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
And so we utilized the ability to have that retail space. So we were able to maximize the amount of time that we were open, even though the Aquatarium wasn't necessarily open during much of that time.
Yes.
The visitor center was able to be open.
So now, correct me, because I'm a little confused. There is space on Blockhouse Island.
Yes.
Now, is that in that, where the washrooms are?
Yes.
and Captain Ending and whatever else in the restaurant? Will they be located there in the summer, or will they have two spots, or will they just be at the Aquatarium?
Well, last year we ran both. So we had
okay.
the Aquatarium open, and then during the summer we had the Blockhouse open during the high season. So basically that May 4 to September,
Yes.
Labor Day time frame. So we did run both. We did find that there was very little
Traffic
through the Blockhouse side.
Yeah.
So we are reassessing that with the city this year to see, is it make sense to do that? Does it make sense to move it somewhere else? We're actually considering right now opening another kiosk, as it were, with an ambassador over near the caboose, and it would be my hope that we could actually reopen the caboose and use that as a space, because there's a lot more high traffic, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm working with Rob Nolan right now and Phil Wood at the city to try and make that happen. There's some hurdles and we have to get through that, but we'll go where the people are and where it's most necessary to be.
And that would really make sense, because you have your tunnel right there.
Yep.
People like to see the caboose. Plus you've got your walking trail.
That's right.
So,
and we can help promote the museum from right there, because if you like the tunnel, there's some more information at the museum. Go check it out. And if we are able to open the caboose, I think that would be a benefit as well, another attraction. So
the children too would love that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how many cabooses do you see nowadays? You don't.
Yeah, I don't exactly have one in my backyard.
Well,
so.
no, and for the adult to be able to explain to their children, this used to be on the back of a long train.
Yeah.
It's no longer. Well, why'd they take it away? Well, that's up to them to answer. But anyway, I'm getting to the point that it's just no longer.
It's fascinating, though.
Yeah.
Kids are always fascinated by trains. Adults, too. I hate to admit it. I love trains.
Well, it's true. It's fair. Okay, so the visitor's guide. Now, I'm going back a couple of years because of COVID, but I do remember there used to be a guide. It was actually a handout that people could get, as well as there was information that was online. Are both of those still available?
Yeah, they're both still available, but remember, our primary goal is digital first. That's been our mantra.
Yeah.
And the reason being is, you've seen in COVID, things change very, very rapidly. We were built during COVID. We took over tourism at the onset of COVID. So we've always had that mindset. So our goal is to drive more people towards the digital, and we will continue to do that. But the guide is still available. The map is still available in print form. But save the planet, save a few trees. If we can do it faster and digitally, it makes more sense.
And it does.
Yeah.
It really does. I know they used to, send some hard copies over to the States. And if you can just go to a computer and bring it up.
Or your cell phone. Almost everybody nowadays goes to their cell phone to look for the
true.
information. Facebook, Google. If you want to find something, you're gonna go search it out and hit the Google. What am I going to do today? It's going to come up there. So we need to be able to use those resources, and that's our primary. It is still there, though.
And it's instantaneous too.
It is.
There's always a few of us older people who like to have paper.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
We do.
Yep.
Another question that I've had people query about is Brockville Tourism is under the umbrella of the Aquatarium. Can you explain how that happened, please, and why?
Yeah, it can be a little confusing to
I'm
understand,
confused,
certainly.
yes.
Yeah, the city put out an RFP for tourism,
Right.
right? And that was 2020. They were looking for a tourism destination marketing organization, is what we call
Right,
it, a DMO.
yes.
So we were approached by Henderson and a couple other folks because we are a charity. We're a not-for-profit. The Aquatarium is, and it's necessary to have a not-for-profit to utilize the MAT tax for the advertising benefits, right?
Yes.
So it's part of what the province requires. You have to have a not-for-profit. So the Aquatarium was brought in, and when we worked with these folks, we put in a successful bid, and we took over tourism in 2021. There's a lot of synergies there, though. It makes sense. We're already invested in the city. The city's invested in us, and I say that because, you know, we have staff here already doing tourism-related things at our admissions desk. We are already doing marketing for ourselves.
Yes.
Why not expand it? We're the largest tourism entity here in Brockville. Now, certainly the Arts Center and the tunnel, there's lots of people that come through, but we're probably doing the vast majority of the marketing. So we can benefit by packaging those things together. The city's already supporting us. Our staff is already on city payroll. You know, so all of these things make sense synergistically, and we can help not only fund ourselves, which we do rely on the city for some funding, and these things all worked out really, really well, and I think it's a good relationship.
So it was a good match then.
It is,
Yes,
for sure.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. Explain to us, what is the RTO?
Yeah, well,
it's a mystery.
There's a lot of RTOs. We are involved in the RTO 9, right? So the RTO 9 is Regional Tourism Office. So you know, you can think about it almost like a hierarchy. You've got the Ministry of Tourism and Sport, and they have underneath them the Regional Tourism Office, which encompasses several DMOs, which we are, again, Destination Marketing Organization, and the RTO incorporates several of us from Cornwall to Kingston, basically. You can think of all of those different destinations as belonging to the core group under the RTO. So funding flows from the province through the ministry into the RTO. The RTO then disseminates down into the DMOs.
Oh, okay.
So there's lots of things that go back and forth in there. The RTO is especially important when we deal with things that hit multiple DMOs, because we don't want to compete with our neighbors, but we also want a piece of the pie. But if there's things that take up more than one DMO, say a via rail trip would hit from Kingston to Cornwall, right? If they wanted to do a package, they would have to contact each and every one of those DMOs. That would drive them nuts, and they'd say, forget it. So they can go to the RTO, say, we want to do this, and then the RTO 9 can then disseminate that information across the various DMOs. So hopefully that explains it.
It does indeed. It does indeed. And yeah, I can understand why they would be of value.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about some of your tourism partners. Who are some of your partners?
Well, certainly the city of Brockville. They have the most stakeholder play in there, absolutely. But we also deal with the DBIA. There, again, a lot of those businesses, the economic spinoff from tourism to help drive people to the downtown core. And then the Chamber of Commerce, obviously, we're a member of both the DBIA as the Aquatarium and the Chamber, so we want to work synergistically with them. The city, the same thing. So we do often have meetings together to work with those folks. We also utilize the TIO and TIAC, which is the Tourism Industry Association of Ontario and Tourism Industry Association of Canada. So both of those are more lobbying, information gathering, and perspective on where we need to go as a destination, what things we should be focusing on from a broader umbrella, from whether it's Canadian or on provincial thoughts. Here's where we should be leaning. Here are the ideas. And then they're again in with the ministry or whether it's federal or provincial, again, those folks are giving us kind of the larger umbrella picture. Which
makes sense because trends come and go, you know. So what is happening out there now in the world, and what's happening in Canada?
Right. And where's the funding coming from too?
Yeah, exactly. All of that. I want to talk about call for guest bloggers. What is this?
All right. So do you know what a blogger or vlogger is? Yeah.
A blogger,
Yeah, we're actually looking for vloggers as well. Yeah.
Really?
So video, so the idea is that we have some really amazing promotional things that have been given us to our stakeholders. The Sir Isaac Brock has a night in there. The Aquatarium has a day pass. We're talking about a bunch of different, we have some via rail tickets that will get folks here. So the idea here is that we've got some really great things to do in Brockville. Let's promote those, and let's get the bloggers of the bloggers to come and say, I want to come to Brockville and do these things, and these are the reasons why. So that's a promotion in and of itself.
Yes.
I want to come to Brockville, and I'm going to do a bit of research, and I'm going to promote why it's important for me to go do that. So we've already gained promotion. We're using these promotional materials to get them here, and then we can use that as marketing. Then once you're here, it's almost like a fam tour, a familiarization tour, if an itinerary that they can come and see these things. And then the idea is, again, they would, oh, hey, I stayed here, I blogged about this, I vlogged about this. So again, more information back out, and then we can use that information again to encourage people to come back out. So rather than having, say, a one-night stay at the Brock, or a one trip into the Aquatarium, or one show at the Art Center, now we've been able to utilize that one visit to get energy and excitement about all of these. Oh, I'm coming to go see Brockville, right? And oh, maybe I should go do that too. And to, okay, I went and did these things. They were a lot of fun. Oh, hey, this guy had a great time. Let's go, or gal, let's go and do that. So it's sort of upsizing what we've been using for promotional materials. The other thing is, again, that digital first. We're trying to reach a bit of a younger audience. Now, nothing disrespectful to that older demographic, but we also want to see some of the younger demographic coming in. And blogging, vlogging, these are the ways of that younger generation. And we want to encourage them, hey, there are some cool things to do here in Brockville, and why not? Come check it out.
Yeah, escape room is one of them.
Sure.
I mean, that's popular.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun in there. I didn't succeed in my second attempt, but I did. Yeah, well, we've done two. This is the second one. So yeah, and I unfortunately I failed on the second one. The first one I got through, but the second one I wasn't good enough.
Is it time?
It is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. I haven't been through.
It's challenging. You should come do it.
I don't know. I have to think about
fun.
it. So Thomas, where is the Brockville Tourism? Where are they going? What are they going to be doing in the future?
For next year?
For next year.
Well, a lot of the same, but we are so excited to have the border reopening.
Yes.
We want to see all those restrictions go away, and I think that hopefully we'll be to that point. We're starting to see festivals and events come back. The Tall Ships Festival, it's going to be great. I'm on that committee as well. Very proud of all the work that Leslie and Brian have been doing on that. We're very, very excited about that coming back. Councillor Fullerton will be getting Ribfest back again, so that's going to be great. Hydroplane races, we've heard that they are considering coming back. Yeah, that's a consideration. You've got the speedboats again here.
Yes.
Let me see. So I did make a list of this. Good. It's huge.
Please share.
Yeah. So we will have our ambassadors back. I know that was very popular last year. We're trying to try a couponing program with the ambassadors this year to help promote other things. Again, extending that stay. So if you come to an ambassador and they tell you a little bit about what's going on in Brockville, I'm awful hungry. Oh, well, here's a coupon to, and maybe that will promote some of those other businesses and extend their stay. So we're excited about that. The surveys, we did some surveys last year. We had emails and we kind of learned a little bit about what people are coming to Brockville for. So we will be putting those back in again.
Good.
The marketing plan is already up, so we'll be extending that through the year. As these things continue to come in, we want to promote those different events and activities. So we do have a lot of room for flexibility in there. The newsletters will continue to come out. We're going to create a newsletter not only for our stakeholders, which is something that we've been doing to this point, but we want to create a newsletter for our guests as well. People that have already been. Here's what's coming up. Maybe come back to Brockville again. We do have a new tourism and cultural services manager at the city, Ann Stopshire. Hopefully I didn't mess her name up. But yeah, so we're looking forward to meeting her and working with her. We haven't had the opportunity yet, but that will be really great. The new marina, when it comes online, we're excited about being able to promote that. So that will be a big one. More fam tours. We have a number of them that we're considering and moving forward with. So those familiarization tours, it's bringing someone in, showing them around, and then they write up a large article. millions of viewers. Like we had Carol Ann Davidson last year, had, I want to say, 11 million viewers last year when she came in. We have our tourism advisory committee that just kind of kickstarted a little bit in the end of last year, so that will continue on this year. A lot of our stakeholders, our hoteliers, different stakeholders for Captain Andy, folks like that will all be part of that, will come in and they help monitor the objectives that we're doing. We talk with them about, well, what's hot right now, what's not, what can we help promote, what events are coming up. So that will continue on this year.
Awesome.
The updated guide and map. So again, we're trying to do small batch guides and maps, so that if things change, we don't have 1,600 boxes of guides and maps, little batches of maps. And if things open up in the States more, we can get some more over into the States as well.
Right.
The online booking system for camping with the city, we're excited about that and helping to promote that. So that's something new, as well as the islands. And in fact, we're working with the city to see how we can integrate ourselves more into their digital infrastructure. There's lots there, and we can help self-promote the city through their own digital infrastructure. So we'd like to work with them more. This year, outdoor activities will be hot. We've heard that from Tayak, from the RTO9. That's going to be the focus this year. So a lot of your paddleboarding, your cycling, island hopping, boating, kayaking, camping. I think we're all COVID weary, but at the same time, we all still have almost got it ingrained that we want to keep our distance. So those outdoor activities will continue to be a focus for folks, and we want to make sure that we're helping to promote those and let people know that we have an amazing playground right here in our backyard. This is an awesome place, and there's lots of outside activities, from the Brock Trail to, like I said, the islands. You name it, you can probably do it here. It's a wonderful place. So. Yeah, we have some more filming coming and creative. So we are doing some little short snippets of filming and photographs to help the individual stakeholders self-promote, so they can use it on their own blogs and on their own websites, but we can also use it on our website, so it can fit dual purposes. So if we do a marketing campaign, for example, about the museum, which we just had some filming done for them. We can use that in our marketing campaign, and then they can use that on their own internal
So is there a cost to, if someone comes to you at the tourism office and they say, well, you know, maybe a restaurant or whatever, yeah, we're doing a great big feature, whatever the meal is, can you come in and film it? Is there a cost associated with having them come in and
what we've done to this point has not cost, because we've been partnering with the RTO9. Again, that funding has come through the RTO9. We did have some funding built in, and we will have some funding built in this year from ourselves, and we'll have to see what funding comes from the RTO9. But if there is interest there, we need to know that, so that we can start to, you know, oh, hey, here's some funding. We'll put you on the list, and we'll get that done when we can. And we can also cross over. So, you know, last minute, the RTO9 says, hey, we've already got a film crew in doing something, or we find out our neighbor's doing something, we can cross with them. You know, Ann Weir, for example, if they're doing something, you know, for the counties, maybe we can work together with them to get these things done. So there's lots of opportunities. We just need to know what people need, and we will do our best to fulfill that, finding funding opportunities for that. I'm not going to say no to anything. It just may take a bit of time.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you got quite a plan in place. So this is great. Thank you for coming and sitting down with me today and talking about the Brockville Tourism Office and things that have happened in the past, things that are moving along now, and the things into the future. I think you have them all in hand. So thank you ever so much, Thomas. Really appreciate it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.